exposing Roblox most evil company, DoBig Studios. Pretty sure they the people who bought Fisch. I don't have a lot of energy today, so we're just gonna be watching commentary, maybe a horror video, or I don't know what's going. If I even do a next upload, my phone, my mic smacked my lip and unplugged, bro. I lost like 0.7 aura for that, but let's do it.
DoBig Studios has become the most hated developers on all of Roblox by
Wow.
taking over the largest games on the platform and ruining them forever with paid features and destroying the game's community. DoBig has basically made their reputation as one of the most hated developers in Roblox's history, and so today's video, I will be explaining the story of DoBig.
I'm gonna give a non-biased perspective from this as well.
And why they are so hated and what they are doing right now that you may have no idea. Your favorite games are involved, so I'd highly recommend you watch the whole video. But real quick, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It means the world to me, but either way, let's get right into it. Now, DoBig, also I believe known as Do Small, is the owner of DoBig Studios, which was created all the way back in 2020, so just about 5 years ago, which is one of the largest game development studios and game acquisition companies on Roblox of all time. Basically, they aren't really developers, but they're more of game buyers. They find games that are blowing up that they really like, and then they pay a bunch of money to buy those games out and own them. But most of the time,
do we have figures?
Purchase, not really much changes about it.
Popular Roblox game Welcome to Bloxburg acquired by Embracer Group in $100 million deal. We're giving $100 million. I mean, nah, I ain't gonna lie. Bloxburg is that girl for it's that game for sure. But and I only call it that girl because I don't know, maybe little kids, but the people that I've known to play Bloxburg growing up, because again, my history on Roblox, I didn't start playing Roblox till COVID, like middle ending of COVID, I got into Roblox. But the girls that I knew, they liked Bloxburg.
Not want a game to change once it's been bought up, and so most like investing companies or game acquisition companies, they don't really change the game they buy. But the thing that makes DoBig different is they actually do things to the games that makes the players very, very angry and results in the games dying. You guys may have heard of the game called Fisch, which was very, 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 very popular. I believe it was the most popular game on Roblox for a long time, just about a few months ago. It was doing absolutely crazy, and the game was massive, and it was created by someone by the name of Woozy Nate. Now Woozy Nate made this game completely solo. He made it by himself, put all the work into it, and
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said shout out with Woozy Nate, because that's crazy.
Literally hundreds of thousands of players every single day. The game was fun. It didn't feel super pay to win. It felt like a good experience, and it felt like a true original fun game on Roblox. It was simple, straightforward, fun, and it didn't really feel like they were pushing any spending a bunch of Robux down your throat, or they were trying to get you to give them more money. But at some point, DoBig Studios basically bought out the game. Now, I believe it's not disclosed or mentioned how much money this is, but to put into perspective, the Woozy Nate guy bought a $500,000 McLaren a month later, so I think we can guess it's a lot of money. But yeah, they basically bought out.
All right, bro. Let's do something really quickly, because I feel like we should try to understand as much as we can how much it was for. So let's go to ChatGPT. How much was Roblox Fisch sold for, according to the best sources on the internet? Give best estimate. I'll do it. There's no verified public record. Yeah, I know that, but I need an estimate. No publicly, so you can't give an estimate. Give based on all information provided. Estimated sale price? Well, we know that's wrong. Well, we know ChatGPT is not good for yeah, that's so far off, it's not even funny. But hold on, I gotta find my tab. There it goes. In my opinion, bro, I probably guess somewhere to ballpark of 4 or 5 million. Cause you gotta think you're buying a McLaren 500K in cash. You get that payout depending on how you take it, the taxes. So yeah, I'm thinking about he got at least 4 or 5 mil. I mean, $500,000, about 10% of what you made on a car, isn't that crazy, especially how much money it is, and that's probably the car he's going to be driving for the foreseeable future, and all the payments is going to be off of that money. Plus, he's making new games, so I would like to guess the ballpark of 5 million. That's my best guess.
The game,
if not more, because if he only made like 1 million or 2 million and he bought a McLaren, that means he's already rich. Like he came from a wealthy family already, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But to make a purchase like that as a normal person who just came up off a game, yeah, I would say 10%.
entirely. If you were to look at the group above Fisch, you can see it's owned by a player named DoBig, basically the guy who works at DoBig Studios. So yeah, they basically bought the biggest game in Roblox's history. At one point, it was the #1 game on Roblox, and I believe it also held the record for like fastest game to hit 1 billion visits, but I'm not totally sure about that. But yeah, now the game is owned by DoBig Studios, and when this happened, many people were confused and apprehensive. They didn't know what would happen, but it ended up being very, very
yeah.
bad.
But Blade Ball is still going hard. Is Blade Ball ruined?
Very simple, and
I don't think Blade Ball ruined.
You could spend your money on that would make you better at the game. You actually had to grind for what you wanted. But when you play it today, you can see all these things which I'm showing on screen now, which has all the things you waste your money on, buying these new rods, these new pets, the cosmetics, stuff like this, that can cost upwards of thousands of Robux. They basically just expanded it to have way more things. I literally remember when it first got popular, the most you could really spend money on was just like boosting all the server luck, and that would just like, you know, scale with the amount of times you bought it. It wasn't that crazy. But now it genuinely feels like they're pushing a bunch of microtransactions just straight at you. They want you to spend as much money as possible, and that's why people love Fisch so much. So as you guys may have guessed, this,
by the way, really quickly, sorry, I gotta do it. Don't skip over this. It's important. So I have a channel called Cozy Blocks where I'll be playing Roblox. This channel will be really big in the future, so make sure you claim your OG badges now. Let's see, I be live streaming dang near every day, so make sure you guys pop out to this channel, subscribe. We're gonna be doing more than Forsaken, obviously, but right now Forsaken got me hooked, so that's what I be playing a lot.
this is the chart of the game, and yeah, it died completely. It fell off. It lost so many players.
Wait, what game are we talking about? We're talking about Fisch, right?
And that's why people love Fisch so much. So as you guys may have guessed,
no way,
this
Fisch
is the chart
died.
of the game, and yeah, it
bro, these statistics are crazy, bro. Hold on really quickly. Hold on, I gotta see. There's no way Fisch is that down bad as a game, bro. I mean, obviously it don't got 1 million, but 10K is not horrible. I don't know. The graph kind of made it seem like it had no players, but I guess from going to 500 November, January for these 3 months before it was sold, it was averaging. So to hit 10K, I could see, but 10K is still not terrible.
Died completely. It fell off. It lost so many players. There were even YouTube videos being released talking about how DoBig ruined the game forever. The large YouTuber named the Holy Grail 75 uploaded a video called The Diabolical Decline of Fisch. It got 3.2 million views, and even in the thumbnail it says that they blew it, showing DoBig Studios and a chart going down. And yeah, that's basically how it is. DoBig Studios bought an original fun game and made it into exactly what.
But my thing is like, bro, why did they just buy the game and leave it as is, or let Woozy Nate still be the head creative?
All the other games are. And it made a lot of people angry and not be supportive of DoBig Studios, but little did everyone know it would continue to get worse, and as well, DoBig would only continue to get bigger and bigger. So you guys may have seen this game. It's a little bit unknown. I'm just kidding. It's very, very popular, called Steal a Brain Rot.
That's DoBig?
I believe is the
second that's not DoBig.
Largest game.
That can't be DoBig. That's
DoBig?
DoBig?
I mean, it literally had like 6 million players just like a few days ago, which is honestly crazy to me. Nobody would have expected that a couple years ago on any game at all, but it was literally massive. But it's literally massive and one of the largest games on the platform. Now, I made a video talking about Steal a Brain Rot and the stuff that people have issues about it with in my last video, but I wanted to mention it now because there's something I didn't delve too deep into, which is actually who is behind the game. Now, you see, Steal a Brain Rot was originally created by someone by the name of Sammy, and he's the guy who completely owns the game himself, and you guys can see he's the owner of the group. So most people would be like, okay, well, it's not DoBig.
Yeah, he's up like a couple M's.
Owns it, Brazilian Spider, and look at the roles. You can see 3 roles called Big, Brazilian, and Spider. The Brazilian role has in fact the person named Do Small, who is also the same guy who owns the Fisch group. So yeah, DoBig Studios also owns this game, and what's even crazier is you guys can go to their website right now and look at the games that they own. Once you go on their website, you'll see it says, DoBig Studios, we create experiences for all ages in the metaverse. And this number changes a lot, but at the time of recording, it says there's over 4 million people playing their games and over 44 billion play sessions. And if you were to click the button to explore our games, you would see
they rich. They made that, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, just based on Steal a Brain Rot, bro, them boy making like 4 mil a month. Something like that, maybe more. Flossy. Yeah, they don't care about Fisch. That's why Fisch died, because they were like, yeah, we know it's dying, so we just gonna take it for what we could get for right now, because we have our LeBron James of our franchise. We got Michael Jordan. We got Steph Curry. Bro, if they own Steal a Brain Rot and Blade Ball, come on, bro. And a Dusty Trip and Color or Dot. Mind you, these are all games that I've played before. Yeah. They don't care about Fisch. Why would they? And I'm not speaking from a community. Like I said, I'm speaking non-biasedly. I'm speaking from everybody's perspective. From their perspective, why would they care? From the player's perspective, you ruined the game. But they own Steal a Brain Rot, pal. Buddy, guy, they don't care about nothing. Bro, as long as Steal a Brain... Bro, their company, based off of Steal a Brain Rot, their company is funded for at least the next 5 to 10 years, bro. If they're managing their money right and doing everything they're supposed to do, which I'm sure they are. Just wait on it, bro. DoBig Cozy Studios.
Brain Rot and Fisch, as well as a Dusty Trip, Baddies, and Blade Ball. These are all
And my whole thing is, like, as a game dev or even like as a director of these games, why do you feel the need to over monetize, especially when you have multiple different games? Like, there's a caveat. Like, I would love to see what their business meetings are like, if they even have any at all, because I know it's probably just like the regular corporation meetings where you have to cater to the profits.
Roblox games that have been popular for a long time, and most of these have also been the most popular games on the platform for a little bit of time. But there's one game that will honestly astonish you guys that they own that you guys may have had no idea. If you look at their most popular game that they own, you can see Grow a Garden, the largest.
They don't own that. They don't own that. No way. If they own, look, if DoBig Studios owns this game, they're not going nowhere for a long time, and this conglomerate will run Roblox for a long time. Not own it, but they're going to be a big player in it.
Game in Roblox's history by far, which also I believe hit the record for the most players in any video game of all time. Like, what the heck, bro? If you were to look at the Grow a Garden game and go to the group, which is called the Grow a Garden game, you guys would see a bunch of roles like holder, farmer, lead developer, but then there'd be 2 roles called Analytics 2 and Analytics. Under Analytics 2 is the guy named Do Small, the same guy we saw under the Fisch group and under
co-owner
the Brain Rock group.
So he's a co-owner.
Is the main person.
So it's not an accident. All of this is wow.
Of DoBig Studios. And what I believe has been said, which I'm not totally sure if it's been confirmed, DoBig owns at least 15% of this game. I'm not totally sure what that amounts to, and they likely spent probably over like multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars getting this percentage, but they are very likely making...
Nah, they didn't pay hundreds of thousands. They paid mills on mills on mills on mills.
A massive amount of money from having this stick.
Because even this game, I've heard reports that this game makes 5 to 20 million a month. Nah, like closer to 20, maybe more. So if they own 15% of that, bro, it's about like 2 mil a month, just off of just owning that little percentage. Like, they're doing good business out here.
Game. And it's very likely,
like, from a strictly business perspective, dog.
On the game. The main owner of the game that most people would know, though, is someone by the name of Jandel. Now, Jandel's also known for being the owner of a Dusty Trip and being the owner of Grow. I'm not 100%.
So do they all work, bro? Nah, there's a secret society on Roblox. That's crazy.
But I do believe that
hit me up. Let me join.
I don't know if he's a part of them, and so I'm not going to just say he is, but he's involved with them and connected with them, and his games are also part owned by DoBig Studios. In my opinion.
So, like, and here's the thing too, like, and I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm gonna have to be that guy just by saying this. But it's like you can't crucify DoBig Studios and then not go after like the people who are actively allowing them to get their hands on things. Obviously, people need their bag and they need their check, but like, y'all can't scream and shout integrity when the biggest creators are also not on the same page as y'all. Like, they're on the same page as DoBig Studios, which most people probably are. And then if it gets too bad, it'll get to a point where people start falling in line because they're the ones handing out the cash, handing out the investments. So, I don't know, man. All I'm saying is this problem isn't just with DoBig Studios. If people are not liking the way they're operating and their tactics, then you need to start holding the whole community accountable. But in my opinion, it don't matter because people going to do what they want to do anyways. And money talks, bro.
even though Jandel is a
Money
very good
talks.
developer as opposed to what the DoBig Studios did to Fisch. So I honestly think Jandel will actually keep Grow a Garden alive for way longer and not just kill it by adding a bunch of pay to win stuff. But it's still very dangerous because investors do have a say in the thing they're invested into. They can be like, oh, we'll pull out our investment if you don't add this to the game or whatever, that kind of thing. That is something that is a possibility. I'm not sure how DoBig plays it, and the game hasn't been popular for enough time to see how it'll go, but I'll probably revisit it like later this year or something to see how like DoBig Studios did. But it's honestly puts Grow a Garden and any game they own in a very dangerous position. The charts of all the games that they own usually go up for a while and then die. And even though that's common with most games, some games...
Bro, because it's a squeeze tactic. At least the way I'm seeing it, the way I'm understanding it, it's we have about 4, 5, 6 months to get as much revenue from this game as possible. So let's squeeze. And we're going to squeeze every little million we can and then take those millions and go on to the next one. Hey, man. What is it? Rinse, repeat, or rinse, recycle, repeat, something like that. Hey, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You know, can consistently stay popular, but the DoBig ones seem to have much more of a worse decline. You see, like, some games have a slow, progressive decline over time as people get more and more bored of them. For example, something like Robloxian High School, it sort of died out over time. I don't know if you guys remember when that was really popular. It used to be the biggest game on Roblox. It slowly died out as more and more people got bored and honestly just sort of had a calm, quiet, like, they still updated and stuff. It's still like supported, but usually the games that people are like the most and have the best memories of are the games they, you know, slowly get bored of or whatever, and then remember back a few years later and they liked it. Something like Fisch, it honestly leaves a bad taste in your mouth when the reason you quit is because it becomes such a pay-to-win thing. I mean, I actually had a ton of fun on Fisch, but when it started to become pay-to-win, they started adding like too many brand new things that were too complicated and felt like they were just trying to get me to play for longer. It didn't really feel like as fun of an experience. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me. Maybe it's different for everyone else, but honestly, for me, like, I'm okay with playing to win in certain games if they're actually fun. It just doesn't feel like there's a point to it if it just skips all the gameplay. You just get bored of a game. Like, if everything's super easy to get, like if you can just get the best thing in the game for like a set amount of Robux, you get bored of it after a while. If there's nothing you're actually grinding for or whatever, it gets boring. That's why, in my opinion, Grow a Garden is so great, because they have a lot of things like the mutations and stuff you can't just pay to win to get. But imagine like DoBig did the thing where they had like, you know, pay 1,000 Robux and you get like every single mutation in the game. Like, that would just be so annoying. It'd make them a bunch of money in the short term, but it'd kill the game in the long term. So who knows what will happen and who knows what they'll do. It'll be interesting to track how Grow a Garden, Steal a Brain Rot, and 99 Nights in the Forest, like, you know, compete against each other, because I know 99 Nights in the Forest is not owned by DoBig at all. That's the only really game that I can compare to either Steal a Brain Rot or Grow a Garden in terms of players. So I guess we'll see how they go. I mean, these are the big three of Roblox right now, and 2 of them are owned by the same studio. 2 of the most played games in Roblox's history are owned by the same people. Is that crazy or what? That's honestly just crazy to me. So it'd be really interesting to see how they go in the future. I honestly expect that DoBig Studios is going to be around for like the next like 10 years or plus on Roblox, but who knows what they'll do? Who knows where we'll go? Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below, but either way, that's going to be it. Have an amazing day and take care.
Wow. Interesting. I would love to hear you guys' opinions down below in the comments. I just think the entire community got to hold everybody accountable. And if not, then y'all worst fears is going to be realized. But not everybody going to go down this path. This is just only the current era we're in. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, leave your thoughts, opinions down below in the comments. And I'll see you guys next episode.